Coming.
Yes, good morning. I'm Benedetta's colleague. I'm Angelica from CNOSFAP. I'm here trying to allow everyone to enter the lesson, and I have just started recording it. Benedetta told me that, as usual, you will find all the material in the shared folder. She will upload everything, all the presentation, and I'm here for any technical problems.
Okay, thank you, Angelica. Thank you. So, okay. First of all, I would like to thank you because I saw that you send me a lot of questions and a lot of individual reports. And we will analyze it in the second part of the lesson. I will try to ask to your question and to analyze your reflection on the that you did in individual activity. For which regard the lesson, I would like to start showing you a software, and I would like to show you how to use it while we go on with the contents of the lesson. Maybe in this way you can have a look on the potential of this particular software. So the software I would like to show you is a software named CMAP. CMAP is a free software, totally free software, which is not web-based, so it needs to be installed on your device. It can be installed on PC, on tablet, on smartphone. It's not a problem, but you have to install it. The interesting thing is that this software is really useful to support learning process of the students. Is really useful for the students who have difficulties in comprehension and in synthesis and in to do synthesis which have for the student which have a problem to synthesize information. And I would like to show you because the most part of the software who allow us to create mind maps, mental maps, are need a fee to be used. Okay, and in this case is totally free. So this website of this software is sorry, I show you. Okay, the website is this. You can see here. I put also in the chat if someone would like to note it. Okay, this is this is the website. You have to download the software, and it allow to create mind maps. Okay, easy. It's really an easy concept. Okay, there are a lot of educational software which allow you to create mind maps, but in this case is totally free. I repeat that is totally free. Okay, you have to download, to click on download, choose if you want the CMap tools for iPad, for in the server version, but it doesn't, is not for us. In our case is for PC. Okay, you have to click download, give your email, and you can easily have the software to install on your computer. Okay, as you can see, you have to put your email address, several information, and you have to choose your operative system on the right. So if you have Linux, if you have Mac, Windows, etc. Okay, I don't show you how to install it because we don't need it. I already done. I already installed this. So I click. Sorry. See, I open the software. Okay. Moment. We open the window of the software. Today, while we will go on with the lesson, we try to create a map about the concept emerged during the lesson. Okay? So, in the meantime, I show you. Okay, this is the user interface. As you can see, is not the most attractive user interface that you can find, but it's free, so it's okay. Okay, this is our new map, and here we will create our map, mind map for today. Okay, let's start with the lesson. We come back on CMap after where we go on. So today we will talk about the main methods and strategies of digital pedagogies. Okay. We will go in depth in another category of educational technology, which is which include all the educational technologies which allow us to create and manage inclusive learning activities. We will talk also about what is an inclusive learning activity, an inclusive learning activity. Okay, and of course we will talk about educational technology which can support us in this function. The software CMap is one of the educational technologies which allow us to support our inclusive activities. The second topic for today is the methods and strategies. The second topic for today is are the methods and strategies of digital pedagogies. Okay, so today we will start to talk about methodology, as I told you during the end of the last lesson. Most part of this you already studied together with Maria Grazia, but we will try to understand them in the view of educational technology. Okay, Let's start from the second topic. Which are the main strategies that we can use while we are using educational technologies? Remember that the strategies I will propose you are not the only strategies using with educational technologies, of course, but I choose these four strategies because are really good to integrate each other. Okay, so you can easily manage these strategies and use them together. Not all the strategies anytime, but you can use the potential of each strategies and integrate them. Okay, the main strategies for educational technologies are a competency-based education, meaningful learning, flipped classroom strategy, and the cooperative learning. Okay. The educational technology easily support this kind of strategies. Of course, I repeat, of course, there are many other methodologies that are good with educational technologies, but I think during this course it's better to talk about it because are more innovative than the classic lecture. Okay, of course, if we use educational technology for classic lecture, could be a good solution if we do a good job as we can do it in the classroom. Okay, but I think that the classic lecture doesn't need to be analyzed together because it's a classic way to teach. Okay, good. So let's read the slide. Within the scope of this course, we will cover some of the most popular teaching strategies employed with the support of educational technology. These strategies are not necessarily to be used standalone, but can be combined as needed. Okay, what is the meaningful learning? Meaningful learning produces lasting effects in the student's life as the students retain the knowledge and skills acquired even after assessment test. It occurs when the student has the opportunity to bring acquired knowledge into practice and reuse it in other problematic and real-world contexts, manipulating the reworking into create new knowledge. Okay, this is the definition that the authors which proposed this approach gave to the meaningful learning methodology. The key word of this methodology is practice. Is put in practice, put knowledge in practice. Okay. So meaningful learning need a meaningful task. Okay. So meaningful learning occurs through the completion of meaningful task. What is a meaningful task? Meaningful task involves the creation of an artifact, okay, through the manipulation of knowledge, which in turn generates new knowledge. For the teachers who work in vocational educational and training, this concept is not new, okay? Because when they are in the practice laboratory, when they try to teach to the students to do a practical task, already know what I mean for meaningful task, because all their tasks are meaningful tasks, because there is the practice part in it. But when the teachers need to explain or need to teach abstract concept, or maybe humanistic concept, doesn't have the chance to put in practice this concept. Is really difficult to explain, for example, what is what is poetry, or to try to teach historical events, giving sense to this. If we want to become, if we want that what we are teaching will be retained also after the evaluation, we need to we can use this approach called meaningful learning. In the case, for example, of history, we even explain and talk about an event during the frontal lecture. We can ask to the students to find information by themselves, maybe doing do this in group, and elaborate a meaningful task. Okay, so for example, produce a presentation about a particular event, or gathering witnesses about this event. Okay, there are a lot of examples on this. Let's go on with the characteristics of the meaningful task. Futures. These futures need to be are the following. Meaningful task need to be realistic. So information about this information about the task can be find easily, maybe in the internet, or if there is a library, or can be easily find on the textbooks. Or moreover, meaningful learning needs to steer problem and teacher instruction on real life, okay, or possible jobs. It means that the content need to be connected with the the real life of the student. Okay, so for example, if we are talking about an historical event, we can connect it to actual events, actual news, for example. Okay. Another feature is is that meaningful tasks need to be multi-competential. It means that must go beyond a specific discipline. And this is one of the most important feature of the meaningful learning and meaningful task, because it's serve to demonstrate to students that the subjects, that the knowledge is not close inside the subjects, but what they are learning is connected also with other subjects, of course. And doing this kind of activity, we can use information. We can teach to students to use information, keeping it from the various subjects that they are doing during their learning path. Okay. Other features are immediately accessible. During the first lesson, I remember some more of one person asked me about the assessment. In this case, we need to design a particular kind of assessment. Okay, the main feature of the assessment of this is that the assessment need to be immediately do. So design a checklist that allows students to monitor progress at any time and keep in mind what aspect of their work will be assessed on. So it means that students need to track their activity by auto-assess, by an auto-assessment, a self-assessment, self-assessment. Okay. This checklist should build or should be, of course, self-accessible. Provide a time in the first part of the activity to check with each group on the progress of their work. Okay. The fourth main feature is admit more than one solution. Okay, so when we give the students a task, when we give to student a task, we need to know that this task, that the solution of this task cannot be the ones. Cannot be the only solution. Cannot be the only possible solution. But the solution of this task can be multiple. Okay, it can be a lot, like in real life. And this is the point. Like a problem in real life can have different solutions. Also in this kind of teaching of activity. Also in this kind of activity. Okay. Some examples of instruction of meaningful tasks. These are a list of examples. So, this the first is an example of a question that we can ask to students. And the question is, does chimpanzee, panda, or human person produce more carbon dioxide during their lifetime? I can give this meaningful question. I can ask this meaningful question to the students, and the students have not the answer by me that I'm the teacher, but they have to find information about the answer, and they have to discuss their answer. Another example, sitting on the wall during recess, or Carlo drinks a Diet Coke and Simone smokes a cigarette. Which one is a greater risk to his health? Okay. Or is an hamburger or pizza more nutritious? What letter would you write to your uncle or in Abuja to ask him for hospitality, and did you look for a job in Nigeria? As you can see, if I want to answer to these questions, I need to keep information not only by a single subject contents, but I have to use information that students have to keep from other subject contents. Okay. Little break before go on, because we need to create our map. No, sorry. There was the last slide about meaningful task before go on. Other future of meaningful task. I was forgetting this. The meaningful task has got a challenging component because the problem is not easily solvable, and this challenging component foster positive competition among the groups, and this could grow up the motivational the motivation of the students in learning activities. So another future is that it implies collaborative approach of the students, and this is the reason because before I show you that one of the four strategies I propose you comprehend also collaborative learning. Okay. As you can see, collaborative approach is one of the future of meaningful tasks. And it's very good in this way because students can upgrade their social skills, okay, because they stimulate them during activities. After this, including the creation of a product, this product can be material or no material, because if we are talking about something like create a manufacture is English, sorry, I have a lapsus. Sorry, an artifact. Sorry. If we have to create an artifact, is something like material or non-material. So, for example, a slide presentation, a document, an ebook, a video, an audio, which the students use to communicate as the answer. So the answer have not to be the form of of something like a classic school task, a classic school homework, but need to be something more connected to the real life. So, for example, if we are talking about something written, we have to imagine to ask to the students to produce a newspaper. So we can say, ask to my questions, writing a newspaper. Okay, we are simulating something. Okay, or we can ask, for example, to create a slide presentation for a congress, or we can we can ask to create an ebook, or we have a lot of possibilities. And in this case, in this kind of non-material product that we are asking them to create, technology can be really useful. In the case we have not educational technology available for all the students, we can, for example, ask them to produce something with the paper, using maybe newspaper, cutting the part of newspaper, or and creating a paper book with where they discuss about images or paper about the the task they we ask them to do. Okay. The last two tasks, the last two features about the meaningful task is evaluating not only the product but the entire process. So it's really important to for a teacher to observe how the students produce this, how the students develop this product, and this is the object of evaluation. Moreover, the product in itself. The last opportunity for self-assessment, as we have already said, students will see by themselves the quality of their product, because the product is connected to real life, so easily recognizable for them. And the students in the first part are more conscious on their evaluation, because they use the the checklist which I presented you before, the assessment checklist. And in the second time, they are conscious about the quality of their product. Okay, good. Before go on, let's try to use CMap to create a little map about this concept. Okay, so open CMap, and it's really easy because let's start from the beginning. Here we are talking about main strategies today. So double click and write main strategies. Here you can also change color. For example, we can make the text. We can change in, it's not really good to see, but it was to show you. Okay, main strategies, and which are main strategies? Competency-based education, meaningful learning, flipped classroom, cooperative learning. Very good. So really easy. I go here. I go, sorry, I would like only to check if it's all okay. I hope everybody entered. Okay. Sorry. Come back. Here you can see the core of our map is the topic for today, which is main strategies. Good. First arrow with the first main concept. Put here. Okay. Now we don't use red, but maybe another color. We can use blue. Okay. The second is meaningful learning. Okay. Flipped classroom. And cooperative learning. Okay. Here. So we have these 4 strategies. Okay. Good. We see so together the meaningful learning. So let's expand meaningful learning concept. Meaningful learning comprehend different concepts which are meaningful task. Okay. Meaningful task which comprehend several features which are realistic, are 4 features I already prepared. Okay, realistic, multi-competential, and immediately accessible, and admits more one solution. Okay. Perfect. Here you can find, you can see there are, okay. Very good. Okay, after there are also challenging component. Can say input challenging component. Collaborative approach. Okay, and self-assessment. Okay, then we don't go on because we have is only to do you an example. Okay, this is an easy map of what we did today until now. Okay, as you can see, we didn't use a lot of time, but if we uh, give to our students this instrument, maybe they can use it uh, to to study and synthesize a topic, for example. Okay, let's go. We will come back here after. Let's talk a little bit about competency-based education. Even I know that you already talk about it with Maria Grazia. Okay, competency-based education. Competency-based education is a fundamental methodology, especially for vocational education and training context. So the definition of competence is really tricky for who study for researchers in education. But we can use an easy definition in order to understand each other. So the term competency or competence has been operationally defined in various ways. Okay, based on a review of definition, competence can be broadly viewed as the knowledge, skills, and attitudinal abilities. Sorry, there is an error. Attitudinal. Okay. Attitudinal abilities required by an individual to perform a given job or task effectively beyond expected standards. Okay. Let's go. The key elements of this methodology comprehend the curriculum or training program the modularity of curriculum and training program. The competency standard which are at the base of the program. So the performance is largely outcome-based and not input or process-oriented. The focus is on practice and skill development. Performance is measurable and observable. Assessment is criterion referenced. Programs have performance standards, and assessment process is personalized. As you can see, these features, these key elements, perfectly fit with the characteristic of meaningful learning. But let's go on. Other key elements. A competency-based program have historically been used for technical skill development rather than for areas requiring science skills. Nevertheless, for a few years now, this approach has been becoming increasingly popular even in humanity-based learning pathways, thanks in part to the use of educational technology. This information sorry, before I told you, I already told you this. Before I already gave you this information. While I was telling you that a teacher who works in vocational educational training already know what we are talking about, okay? Because vocational education and training is full of this kind of activity because of the nature of the knowledge the teachers try to give to their students. For which regard the humanities, for which regard humanities and subjects which imply abstract concepts, the competency-based approach became feasible only in the last years because of the educational technologies, because of the support of the educational technologies. So competency-based program traditionally put less priority on group tasks that require collaboration, communication, and cooperation abilities. Okay? Perfect. Now, here with using CMAP, if you like, you can also explode, for example, this concept, the competency-based education, and put here the concept and information I gave you while I was explaining you the competency-based education. For example, here we have different key elements. I can put it a part of maybe I can put here a brief definition. Here, okay. It could be a little bit longer, okay. And maybe I can write here that this is definition, okay. I can use this question mark for add information here, and here I can maybe do this writing here key elements, okay. And here add all the key elements. Now, as you can see, I am using this. I am synthesizing differently than here because I wanted to show you the potential. So I can definition here. We have the definition of competency-based education. Here I have key elements, and I can put here the various key elements like curriculum, training, modularity, ad esempio, modularity of the curriculum. Okay. Okay, or here I can go on competency standards, for example. And so, and go, and on and on and on. Okay? Mm, good. Now I propose you a 10-minute break. After the break, I would like to talk with you about what we see together until now today. A brief reflection, okay? But let's see in 10 minutes.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good, welcome back. Welcome back. So, before sharing your opinion, I would like to show you a little thing about CMAP. Now we were going on constructing this mind map, but if we would like to better organize it, we can ask to the software to do it for us. I know in Italian, sorry, but there is the correspondent future in English, automatic disposition, something like this. So if we can go here, we can ask to automatically organize the content, as you can see, or maybe with the other format. Really interesting. Okay, so please, someone could share with me and his or her colleagues if they are already using competency-based or meaningful learning approach, and do you think it could be useful for your activities, or if you already use it, do you think they are useful for your activity? Please open the mic and share your view, or write in the chat, please. Nobody? Okay, nobody. Um, Before going with the slides and the topics for and before go on with the next topic. Okay, Anthony, please write or open the mic.
Okay, good afternoon.
Sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Anthony.
So I'm just joining the class and I'm seeing the screen here that you asked a question about if we use a competency-based approach
Yes.
in learning. Yeah. So I'm a lab technologist, so I I assist the lecturers in preparing labs and coordinating lab sessions. So one of the things that I grade there are four things that I grade in the lab sessions. So, firstly, is their ability to read a blueprint, and then secondly, is the ability to translate the blueprint to reality. The third thing I check, I look out for is the ability to troubleshoot electrical systems and connections. And then the fourth thing is the ability to make a proper report on um, on the job that you have carried out. So these four criteria are the things that I look out for in every of the activities that they carry out. And then, of course, it is very useful because at every point in time, I know exactly what I'm looking out for and I know what to demand from them. At least I have something where I have a target where I'm working towards, and that helps me to be able to demand from them and they know what exactly they need to do at each particular moment. I don't know if I'm in line with the topic of conversation here because I'm just joining the class now. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. The point is that for lab of vocational education and training, tasks are already something of real, and you don't need to imagine something connected with reality because you already do something real. Your tasks are already real. Really thank you. Really thank you for your contribution. Maybe Mabel want to talk? Let's open the mic or write something in the chat.
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
Good
Mabel.
afternoon. Please, I would like to know when teaching. Yes, I'm on the line. I'm asking when teaching, looking at the strategies, you have to consider all, or you should, based on the competency of the student's level. I want to know, looking at the strategies, the teaching strategies, you have to consider all, or you should look at the competency level of the people. Thank you.
Are you asking me if you need to look at the competency level of the people when we design a competency-based activity? Is this the question? Because your voice is a little bit disturbed, so maybe I wrongly understood.
I was trying to know that when you are teaching students, looking at the presentation, you have to consider all the levels, or you want to consider all the strategies, or you should consider the competency level of the people, the students you are teaching. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe the presentation was not this information. You're right, because you need, of course, to consider the competency level of the student, and this could be something really important to consider. But we also need to know that in order to make accessible the activity to the different competency level, because in a group we can have different competency level or different ability level maybe. We need to also implement an inclusive approach, because every student have not only different competency level, but also different learning style and learn different capacity. So in after the discussion, when we go on with the lesson, we will also talk about how we will also talk about strategies for inclusive activities, so that allow us to include also maybe students with different competence level, different learning styles, but also maybe disabled students. Now, sorry, I don't know how is the situation in Nigeria and Ghana in your context, but for example, here in Italy, we have also to consider that in our class group, we can have also disabled people. So also these also them have to be included in learning activities. And now, and after we will see together which strategies we can implement for this aim. Okay, and anybody else want to say something or write something?
Hello, Marco.
Hello, Deji. Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Good afternoon. I had some issues this afternoon.
Nice to hear you.
Yes, I think majorly the competence base is more suitable for the TVET, technical and vocational, because you need to have standards that are measurable for skills. And also
Yes.
sometimes you grade the attitude as well as you do those things. Then for the meaningful learning, it's more like sometimes it's good for project work. But you have to do project work. You have a time that are limited and you have to get things done. But also an aspect of the TVET also uses the meaningful learning in that probably your student have reached some level and you ask them to design something and they also have to implement it. So the meaningful learning at some point could also come in there as well. That's just my own observation.
Yeah, thank you, Deji. I would like to enhance one thing. I don't want to, I'm not trying to convince you that these are the only um, solution, the only strategies, and that you have to use only these strategies with with educational technologies. Okay, absolutely not. I am proposing you something that you can insert in your didactics. Okay, so I know that these kind of activities require a big amount of time and energy from the teachers and also from the students. So we can implement this in the already present structure of lessons, for example, because they can give you something more. Okay. So here we have the same situation you described, Deji, but maybe if we alternate teaching strategies, maybe we can give more chances to students to find a way to enhance their potential, to enhance their potential. Yes, because every student have his own learning style, and maybe the most part of students are good with the way of teaching you have, but the other part of students could need another way. Okay, but so let's see together what I mean for what they mean for inclusive activities. Okay. Only a moment. Only one moment because I need to. I have connection problem moment. Okay, I hope you are hearing me. I think yes. Okay. So let's see how to design and test inclusive learning activities. Oh, okay. Are you connected? Yes. Good. So, when we're talking about inclusive activities, we are talking about teaching activities. We try to intercept the learning styles and the needs of the most part of students which I have in the classroom. Okay, so I can have different learning styles. I can have different abilities. Can have a lot of situations. Especially for the part of students which have more learning, which have something. Sorry. For the part of students which have different learning styles and maybe different different neuronal functioning. Okay, we need to use particular strategies in designing, but also we can use educational technologies to support our didactics and to support these students. So let's see. For inclusive activities, we can use a category of technologies which are called compensatory technologies. Okay, the compensatory technologies are tools specifically constructed to facilitate function that individuals cannot perform because of a deficit, or that he or she can perform with highly deficient performance because of, for example, of specific disorder. Okay. They involve the acquisition of compensatory skills, which may also take the form of the use for compensatory technologies. The compensatory skills are not determined by technology, but by strategy, teaching action, teacher's action. Okay, and this is important for all the topics we are discussing about. And the last student who use the compensatory technologies must learn how to use it. Okay. For example, let's try to do an example with an evident disability. if we have a blind student, okay, we need to use compensatory technology in order to allow him to do the teaching activities, okay? And this compensatory technology could be, for example, reader for blind or something like this. In this case, the student can read easily, okay, but he has to learn to use this technology, and using this technology use this technology doesn't help him, doesn't facilitate him in learning concepts, okay? He facilitates him only in reading, only in the function, only for his deficit, okay? Okay, let's go on. So let's see this warning. The compensatory technology do not strengthen the functional skills that students have not automated due to the learning disabilities. Okay, they do not serve to relieve the students of the burden of learning, but to put him in on equal level with peers. And this is the thing I was trying to explain you before. Going back to the example of the blind guy, if the blind guy used the reader in order to read, of course, to study, okay, he have he have to make an equal strength. Sorry, he have the same strength to of his peers, okay. Another is that they are not a reward teaching resource, but can be used to produce them, okay. Okay. Compensatory technology. Here we have some examples of compensatory technologies. We have text-to-speech, for example, which convert written text into spoken language, making it easier for students with reading difficulties, dyslexia, or visual impairments to assess and comprehend written content. We have also speech-to-text software, which are the counterpart, and they allow students with speech difficulties or physical disabilities to speak into a computer or device, which then converts their spoken word into written text. After this, we have screen readers that are reading softwares. Read aloud the content displayed on a computer screen, enabling visually impaired or blind students to access digital information and navigate the web, or alternative and augmentative communication, and which are software and devices that assist students with speech or communication impairment by providing them with tools to express themselves, such as picture boards, speech generating devices, or specialized apps. Okay, these are a really specific instrument for a really specific need of, in this case, disabled students. Okay. Moreover, we have also technologies which can we adopt for disabled students, but also with we can call ordinary students, okay, because they can help them with the study. These technologies are, for example, e-book and e-book readers, because they offer features like adjustable font size, text-to-speech capabilities, and customizable backgrounds, making reading more accessible for students with various needs. But we have also mind mapping tools that they are really useful for students in organizing their thoughts and ideas visually, as you can saw before, which can be particularly helpful for those with executive function disorder or ADHD, okay, but also for ordinary students, because if while a student is studying, he develop in the meanwhile he develops a mind map, he can better fix the concept he is studying, okay? Or maybe if we can come back to the meaningful task which we discussed before, we can say to the student to use mapping tools in order to develop the final product of the task. Okay, the final product could be a map. Could be a map which maybe can be useful for other students. And this is a real product because it's a intellectual product useful for the other students. Okay. Other examples, audiobooks and records, which support students with various learning needs, particularly those who benefit from auditory learning or have reading difficulties. Here's how you can effectively use audiobooks as compensatory technology in educational settings. Okay. You can find free audiobooks on, for example, archive.org that I already present you, or you can find a lot of audiobooks on YouTube or free platforms. And also audiobook and record and the instrument of recorders are in all your smartphones. Okay, more of these kind of compensatory technology, which are also normal educational technologies, so are compensatory but not also normal ordinary educational technologies are calculators, dictionaries, etc. I can consider them compensatory or not compensatory in base of the way I use it, because if I use calculators with sorry, if a student use calculators because of his deficit, and their peers doesn't use it, for example, for an assessment, it means that I'm using the calculator as a compensatory technology. But if the level of required competence is maybe high and all students are using calculator, of course, this is not a compensatory technology. It's a normal instrument, okay, that they need in order to do their task, okay. Also, this is the same for the dictionaries and other technology like this. Good. So let's briefly see the inclusive teaching activities futures. Okay, let's read it together. Let's read them together. Teaching practices based on enhancing the different learning and teaching styles. Okay. So we have to integrate different approaches, teaching approaches. Another future, comprehend the meaningful learning. Sorry, I see someone wrote in the chat. Someone say that the network is very bad here. Is bad for everybody or only for someone of you? Okay, nobody. Try. For a moment, I try to. It's okay. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Jane. I need to understand if the problem is my network or yours. Okay, let's go on. Inclusive teaching activities. We say the main features are teaching practices based on enhancing the different learning and teaching styles, meaningful learning based on problem solving. Meaningful learning, we already thought about it. Cooperative and participatory learning strategies, adaptation of teaching materials. This is an important point, and development of digital competence of students, especially the population groups that do not have access to technological resources. Okay, as you can see, also in the futures of inclusive activities, we have cooperative and meaningful learning, which are two of the strategies we mentioned at the beginning of the lesson. And as I already said, all the strategies are, and this is the proof that all the strategies that I am presenting you today are really connected. Okay. This point, adaptation of teaching materials, is also important because educational technology really give us an help in order to adapt the teaching materials, because today with the support of easy text editor, okay, instead of a paper print, we can create we can share a text that can be used by students in various ways, because they can easily re-elaborate them, or it can maybe they can read the text with a voice reader easily with a really low-fi PC or low-fi device, and or moreover, we have a lot of instruments like the mind mapping tools, which allow teachers to create teacher or student, as teacher, but also student to create and adapt learning materials. Okay. Okay. Of course, if we use educational technologies, we need to remember, but you know better than me, you know this better than me, we have to remember that not all people, not all students have the same access to technological resources. And this is a real good problem that in the most part of cases, a teacher cannot solve. But he have, of course, to remember because we need to adapt materials in the case we know that maybe students have not internet connection at home. So we have to adapt the materials in a way he can bring materials at home to study. Okay, maybe we can do a lot of operation about this. Okay, so let's see other features of inclusive teaching activities. So the question is, which educational technologies can support inclusive teaching? Remember that the categorization of technologies, inclusive, compensatory, etc., does not unequally identify them. Okay, the same thing for the main categories that we saw together in the last lesson. Moreover, the same technology can carry out multiple functions depending on how it is used. Okay, I already talked about this. Compensatory technologies are not a separate category from educational technologies in that for the most part they can also be helpful in supporting instructional practices involving all the students. What I mean that a mind mapping tool, for example, can be considered a compensatory technologies, but at the same time, a powerful instrument for supporting instructional practices, a powerful instrument to include, so at the same time is a powerful instrument for instructional practices, but also a powerful instrument to include maybe the guys who have a dyslexia problem. Okay, because my mind mapping tool is really useful for dyslexia guys. Sorry. Dyslexic guys. Okay. Good. Inclusive teaching activities. Other features. In order to appropriately choose the right compensatory tools, it is crucial to identify what the students' strengths are to be leveraged, because they are the ones that allow the technology to compensate for the specific disorder. Okay, this is the synthesis of all we said until now. Okay. Okay. So now come back 1 minute to our map and see how to go on with this. Now we have this structure, the main strategies, competency-based education with some features, meaningful learning with other features, and here we have cooperative learning and flipped classroom. Okay, these mind mapping tool can be really useful for synthesized concept as we already said. Here with cooperative learning now we can go on with other concepts, etc., etc. Okay. In order to finish this part, these maps are easily, sorry, we can save the CMap in several ways because we can save it in order to go on adding things in the map, or we can save this as a picture to insert in a document. Okay. Moreover, the tools of CMap, there are other similar mind mapping softwares, like for example MindMeister, which is a more attractive software. I show you what I mean. If we go in the website of MindMeister, it's all colorful and okay, sorry a moment, I make the access. No. Only a moment. He logged out me. Sorry a moment because something logged out me. I need to interrupt the sharing of the screen for a moment because I need to Okay, sorry, but there are some technical problems, I don't know, on the website, but I show you anyway what I was talking about. So as you can see in this screenshot example, as you can see in this screenshot example, MindMeister is always a is always a mapping application, but is more colorful. There are a lot of features. But in the case of mind mapping, in the case of this app, you have a really limited functions if we use the free version. And and the service changes during the time. So it's a little bit tricky to use constantly. It's expensive. But I inserted the example of MindMeister in the slide because here you can find also how some suggestion to use it for didactics. So, for example, to propose class group brainstorming activities, explain, notate the links between the various concepts covered, enrich teachers to the presentation and papers, facilitate memorization of concepts, etc. Okay. And here, after, you have a lot of websites, web apps, okay, so web-based application, which that are similar to CMAP that I show you. CMAP, I remember you, is totally free. These software are not free or are partially free, only partially. I show you briefly a sample of some one of these. For see, Google is one of the newest and is really nice to see. But we can see also the presentation together. Okay, as you say, as you see, as you saw, is really similar to CMAP, but is more colorful. And as you can see, there are different solutions for the free solution and payment solution. And if you do the free solution, you can create only 3 maps. So it's really limited, okay? But maybe can be useful anyway for you. And you can here there is other solutions like mind map that is all the same thing, all the same functions. Mind map, okay. We don't need to open all of this. If you are interested, you have all the links, all the information you need to try it and to think to use it in your classroom activities to support your inclusive teaching or your ordinary activities, okay? Or maybe not your study activities. Fine. So I think that sorry, in the last slide I put you also the CMAP link and the example we made together. Okay, so I suggest to have other 10-minute break, and when we will come back, we will discuss together about what we say today, and we also discuss about what the information you gave me during the last 2 days, okay, with the individual activities and the question you made me. I tried to ask the question you made me. Okay, see you in 10 minutes. Hi, welcome back. So, someone has something to highlight about what we said until now? Please write in the chat or open the mic. What do you think about inclusive activities? What do you think about the connection between the strategies I am presenting today? Okay, if nobody like to talk, I go on with discussing the questions you made me about the last lesson. So let's go with the FAQ session. Okay, I share the screen. Share screen. Okay. Okay. So let's go with your questions. Between someone asked me between video and audio, which one is the more effective in teaching and learning activities? Really good question. So, of course, it depends on the situation, but in general terms, we can say that the video is more effective because the video comprehend video, so images, so the view, and the audio, video and audio. So we have two channels of communication, but these two channels and if we use these two channels together in the same time, we do not risk the cognitive overload. Okay, the research say this, but moreover, but furthermore, the combination of audio and video together at the same time have a good effect in memorization, okay? Because we associate information with an image or with something that we are seeing, okay? So the video is really useful for learning, more effective, absolutely more effective than the only audio, okay? But of course, it depends on situation. If we have only the possibility to create an audio content or, for example, audio content are really good if I want to study or hear about information while I'm doing something else. Maybe while I'm doing something else manually, okay? So it depends on the situation, but generally, studies, okay, the study results say that video is a really effective medium for learning. Okay, Next questions. Is it possible that a whole learning curriculum could be installed and implemented on technological tool effectively without face-to-face meetings? I don't really understand this question, sorry. Is it possible that a whole learning curriculum could be installed and implemented on a technological tool? Okay, now I understand the question. Is it possible? Yes, it is absolutely possible. We have several examples of this, a lot of examples about this. But the problem in this case is the motivation of learners, because, for example, made a real example. There are a lot of universities that in Italy we call università telematiche, which are telematic is not, I know it's an English term. Yeah, telematics university, which allow you to participate, to obtain a degree, okay, by viewing a whole amount of pre-recorded video lessons, okay, and the only moment when you see a professor here is when you go to the university for an evaluation. And during the whole curriculum is not, you never interact with the teacher, okay? So, if I need to answer to your question, yes, it's possible, but it's not really effective, because the quality of the competence, or maybe it's better to say knowledge, not competence, okay? The quality of knowledge acquired by the students is very low. It's very, very low, because the most part of learners are not motivated enough in order to participate to and use to study using the same medium for a long time, for a lot of time, okay? This is the reason, for example, during this course, our course, we try to interact with you, not only during the lessons, but also asking you to write and elaborate the topics we are discussing during the lessons. And now maybe you are so tired to interact with me, but you know that I am here, and if you want to interact, you can. And this makes the difference for motivation, for attention, etc. Of course, I repeat another time, yes, it's possible to do a whole curriculum automatically. Okay, deliver a curriculum automatically, totally automatically, but it is not the best solution for learning achievement. Not a good solution for learning achievement. Because we have not a lot of important things in training, which are, for example, inclusion of people, because we have one medium for all. We have not the interaction. We have not a big amount of motivational leverage that allows students to have motivation, but also to go deep in learning, deep in arguments that they like. Okay. But this is a really important topic. Thank you for this really interesting question. Okay, we have no questions. Another, what could be the possible disadvantage of teaching technology over traditional mode of teaching with regard to LMS? Okay, so something is so in this case it's really difficult to answer, because in the case of LMS we can do a big large we have a large amount of possibilities to use it, because as we said the last time, we can use for example, we can change the entire curriculum and deliver it automatically. We can do it, we can use it for a blended solution. I mean, we can do the lesson face-to-face at the same time charge the material in the LMS. Okay, or maybe you can use it only for several little activities during a face-to-face course. We have a big amount of solutions. Okay, but which are the disadvantages? The answer could be, if I make a well well-made design, okay, there are no disadvantages. What I mean, if I use the instrument in the right way, it can only support my teaching activities. This is good for all educational technology. If I use it in the right way, thinking very well in how can a particular kind of technology allow me to empower my lesson, empower my didactics. Okay, there are no disadvantages. There are only good things. Okay. Of course, if I use these instruments in a bad way, I have different disadvantages. For example, if I my objective, we can make an example. If I use LMS in order to put down the costs, okay, only with this aim, it means that maybe I put only bad teaching materials, or not well structured teaching material, or I don't structure, or the structure of courses is not done in the right way, etc. Okay, and in this case, I can have disadvantage instead of face-to-face lesson. Okay, traditional mode or face-to-face lesson. Traditional mode is not. Sorry, we have not to choose traditional mode or LMS. We can have traditional mode supported by LMS. Why not? better solution. Okay, my question, okay, can email be classified as educational technology? Yes, it could be. It depends. It only depends on the way I use it. If I use it with an educational aim, yes, it can. We can have some examples. If I use it to communicate with the students about maybe the topics we are discussing during lesson, yes, can be considered as educational technology. All technology can be considered educational if we use for educational aims. In the case of email, the technology of email is not being created, developed for educational aims, but can be used for this. Sorry, I made another stupid example for internet. Okay, that is at the base of the most part of the big amount of educational technologies, have not been created for educational aims, but have been created for military purpose. As you know, okay. After the military became public the internet system. These have started to be used for commercial, for education, and other things. Okay, classification are useful only for understand the topics we are discussing. Okay. Let's with the next. Sometimes you get real-time statistics from online feedback from your learners, which create a bias based on what the statistics shows you. When you later interact with the learners, you discover reality because the learning was momentary. How do you deal with such? How we deal with that? With the in this case is you need to use your teacher skills. Your sorry, a moment. Someone is writing. Okay, sorry. No, I was saying that in this case, it's important to maintain to do a lot of formative assessment during teaching activities, because the feedback that a statistic give to you is one information of a lot of other information that you have gathered during the teaching activities. So I am sure that a good teacher don't consider only the statistics that he have from the online feedback, for example. But he use a lot of other information that he gather from the relation or other assessment ways. Okay. Of course, if we have only one channel in order to assess the performance of the students, this could be a problem, but is important to find other solutions. Okay. I remember you that when before we talk about the whole curriculum shared in LMS, we said that the problem is that we have the only moment when there is something like a relation, an interaction between students and professor are during the evaluation, and this doesn't allow professor to have a more comprehensive evaluation about the students. Okay. I think the important thing is to use not only the feedback instruments that are really important, okay, but to use only the observation during teaching activities, and try to balance this information we get. Okay. Next question. Is there a tool that you can use to discover the learning psychology of your students before implementing LMS with them so that your effort will not be in futility? So, no. There are tools, yes, but they are not really useful because the variables we have to consider in order to try to use an LMS are not psychological of the students, because we cannot have a prevision on how they react to a new kind of modality for didactics. But we need, sorry, sorry, I have another. Okay, we cannot make prevision. I was saying about how students react to LMS, for example. But so we have not instruments for to measure psychological acceptance of technologies. Okay, but we can consider, for example, the variables like accessibility of internet, the accessibility of devices for the students. These are really important things to keep that we must consider when we think to implement an LMS. I was thinking that there is a psychological instrument that may measure the technological acceptance, but it doesn't allow you to understand if the students will accept LMS. Of course, I can say you the name of this instrument. The instrument is TAM, which is technological assessment measurement. I show you this instrument is a questionnaire, is a brief questionnaire. Then, okay, technology. I showed you the page of Wikipedia, but okay, this is a technology acceptance model, which give you a set of questionnaire that could help you to understand if your students are accepting or not the technology that you proposed them. Okay, but this is good maybe after you implemented the LMS, but it's not a provisional instrument. Maybe I can show you also the questionnaire moment. I'm searching for an example of TAM questionnaire. Un moment, eccolo qui. Okay, I found it. Okay, as you can see, for example, this is an example of items for technology acceptance model. As you can see, this for the acceptance of using iPad. It's not for LMS, but it's for educational technology. As you can see, the question using iPad, the items were using iPad in my work helped me to accomplish tasks more quickly. Using iPad improved my work performance. Using iPad increased my work productivity, etc. Okay, try to imagine to see this item with LMS instead of iPad. It's easy to understand that this scale measures only the perception of the students, okay? Their perception. It's good to measure the perception of the technology, okay? And could be good for it could be good after I already implemented my LMS. Okay, so, sorry, I lost my questionnaire and is continuing. Okay, let's go on with the questions. Okay. There are no verbal clues that you can capture easily in a physical class, but about your learners from their gestures and body movements. How can that be addressed in LMS? E.g., if a student is bored, you cannot know, or if he is unhappy. Yes, this is yes. This could be nice. Nice question. This could be a possible disadvantage, but is only in this case we are not blending face to face with LMS. We are only on in an online mode. I keep this assist in order to show you an interesting video from particular educational technologies that are using, for example, in China, which allows teachers to physically monitor, okay, the attention of their students. And I don't think if this is ethically good. Let's okay. I don't think it's ethically good, but judge by yourself. Okay, that's enough. I don't know your opinion about this, but I think it's really disturbing by my point of view. Okay. I hope I answered to your question, but at the end of course we will do a list of all these questions with the respective answers, and I share with you. So we have 10 minutes for reflection and consideration. Please open the mic or write in the chat your consideration about the lesson of today. If you want to share your experience or something else, please let's do it. Nothing as something to share, some opinions, questions. Isaac.
Yes, sir, Professor. I wanted to ask for the project work. You said you are going to give us some file. That I don't know if it will help us to do the project work.
Oh, yes. Yes. The,
The
for which regard the project work, the next lesson, which is the next lesson, will be the 7th November. Okay, we will dedicate a whole hour about a whole hour on the project work. So I will show you again the format. I will show you again the table you have to complete and the whole thing you need to do the project work. I don't do today because we need to talk also about other things in order to do the project work. But don't worry, because I repeat you that doing the individual activities, you can compose the project work easily at the end. So I repeat, don't worry about the project work, because it's not because we will talk about it in deep in the lesson number 5, and we will have the time to do it. Okay. Also for No, sorry. I saw someone else raise his hand. I saw that maybe someone else raised the hand. Okay, if there are no other contributions, go. Okay, Anthony, open the mic or write in the chat as you prefer. If more easily. Anthony. Anthony is not with us. I think he raised the hand, but maybe he's not. He's writing something. I don't know. Oh, Anthony, mixed odor. Would you like to write your consideration, please? I can read it. Okay, I think I don't see nobody is talking, nobody is writing. Anthony, yes, open the mic and talk.
So, concerning the individual activities, are you giving us the link to follow so that we can do it?
Sorry. Would you like to know about individual activities? Yes.
Yes.
Before I leave, I show you the individual activity, of course. If nobody else want to write something, okay. I show you the individual activity that is really similar to the last. Because today we're talking about inclusive activities. So for the next time, I'm sharing the screen. Okay. For the next time, the individual activity, I will ask you to describe the inclusive practices you already do with your students. And I ask you to write down the elements that make your teaching practice inclusive by giving real examples. Okay. As the other lesson, Benedetta will send you the slides, the file of the slide that I use today, and also an email with the task, with the individual activity and the link where you can put your answer and your individual activity. Okay, so that's all for today. That's all for today, and I hope. I always hope the next time you will interact a little bit more. I really hope, but that's all. I understand that you are tired and really full of lessons for this course, so I can understand you. Okay, let's see. Let's see on Tuesdays. Has been really nice to meet you. So see you. Have a nice evening. Have a nice lesson tomorrow, and enjoy your dinner. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks. Goodbye. Yeah.
Good evening.